Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, Cynicalex, and today I'm going to talk about the new crafting system, because amid all the brand new uniforms for the Black Order, new Tier 3, new Transcendence, all this amazing, strong new content and new characters to do that content with, the crafting system has actually unlocked the biggest upgrade and progression to your accounts ever, basically in the history of the game. So if you are not taking advantage of the crafting system, you're gonna fall behind the rest of the players, like the rest of the entire rest of the player base, at a very fast rate, at an alarming rate. And it's completely free to play, accessible, so there is really legitimately no reason why you should not be investing and actually spending a lot of your time on this page, specifically in the in the upgrade item. Yes, the upgrade item page down here where it says 3 to 5 star comic cards. Now, we all know the value of comic cards. You equip them, you can equip 5 of them, and if they are premium, you can also craft on them, and they're going to give every single character that you have, including every single character and uniform you're going to buy in the future, permanent buffs. It's a permanent account-wide buffs for all your characters. And there's currently no content, and there's basically never been content in the game that has ignored the stats and the buffs from comic cards. So it's no exaggeration to say that the vast majority of success for all players rests, a large portion of it rests on the comic card stats that you have. And so it's really important to pay attention to your cards. And it's easier now more than ever, which is why this is so insane. So you go over to the upgrade item here, you go over to comic cards, and you have the ability to craft using gold. Now, gold is actually not your main bottleneck. Neither is gear up kits, neither is dimension debris. The main bottleneck is actually that top item up there, the mutant materials. In my case, it's phoenix feathers, but remember, you can always click on that and you can change it to MYTHIC crystals. This is important because it allows you to tap into more than 10,000 available resources, because you can hold a max capacity of 6,000 feathers and 6,000 MYTHIC crystals. So it's more than 10,000, it's 12,000. 12,000 by my math is a lot, considering it only costs 200 to do a 10 pull. And if you don't know how valuable a 10 pull is, let me show you. I'm gonna craft this right now. 4-star, 4-star, 5-star, double 5-star. Okay, this is considered a bad craft. And I just got almost 3 5-star cards, which is basically half of a 6-star card. In one pull, not 11 pulls, in one pull. Let's do one more craft here. I'm gonna do a few more here to show you guys. That's a 6-star card. Look at this, man. A 6-star card and 4 5-stars. We basically almost, in two crafts, we've essentially almost made 2 mythic cards when you add everything together. I'm not able physically or verbally able to in any way exaggerate how amazing this is. You need to be doing this as much as possible. And I kid you not, if you think 100 mythic cards is enough, it's not. Go get more. Because having these mythic cards, you're not going to equip these mythic cards. You're then going to work your way up to getting 5 premium cards. Maybe you can equip 1 or 2 mythic cards in the meantime if they're really, really good, like this one, sort of like a stopgap. But essentially, eventually, you know the rules, right? The strategy. You want to build up to 5 mythic cards, then you want to craft them. You're going to be able to craft your cards so fast, your head is going to spin. The real bottleneck, besides the phoenix feathers and the MYTHIC crystals, is actually going to be the card crafting cubes, because you can only farm 500 a day, and you need about 10,000 of them to craft. Hopefully, however, you've been watching this channel for the past 6 months. You've been listening to you've been heeding my call to go and farm GBR. So you should have 20, 30,000 cubes saved up. Because I remember everyone saying a few months ago, Alex, I have the cubes, but I don't have the cards. So now I don't want to hear the opposite. I've got the cards, but I don't have the cubes, because then you did something wrong along the way. There's no way that you haven't crafted your cards, but you were short on cubes or short on cards, and now you're short on cubes. You're lying, or something's going on. You got a ghost in your account deleting your content, deleting your items. Anyways, you sort of get what I'm saying. This is huge. This is so huge that it's actually made a distinct paradigm shift. I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm going to use it because it sounds cool. It's made a distinct paradigm shift in what is valuable in the game. And that's not to say that it's made existing content less valuable, but on the flip side, On the contrary, it has made existing bad content that we tell you to avoid if you can into amazing content that you actually do want to farm. I'm not joking, and I'm going to start with the most hilarious example. World Boss Ultimate Mutant Edition. That's right. Even though they're not considered mutants anymore because of the Magneto retcon, Quicksilver, Cable, Scarlet Witch, and Apocalypse. You have been avoiding these bosses for years, and so have I. That's why you can see there, besides Quicksilver, they're all under 40, Cable's under 10 for the Conquest. I almost have a higher Conquest soon. I'll have a higher Conquest on Supergiant than I will on Cable. Or maybe not. The fact that they drop feathers, and Emcron crystals is a huge, huge boon. Because you can then turn around and craft 2-3 extra times per day. That means, theoretically, an extra 1 to 2 to 3 mythic cards per day. Even just 2 mythic cards per day, if you farm these 5 times a day, is going to equal 60 mythic cards. That's insane value, and it's going to allow you to basically fly through your crafting progress. If you have the cubes, in under a month, you could fully craft your cards. That was completely impossible for players just a few months ago. Even whales couldn't do it. You can literally generate more cards free to play now using this craft system than Godzillinator and I could buying those packs, those boxes in the shop that can drop 5 and 6 star cards, right? The boxes that look similar to this one, you can literally outpace whales if you have enough Phoenix Feathers and Emcron crystals saved and you can farm them fast enough. So it's actually insanely good. So I honestly am not joking. This is not a gag suggestion. If you are desperately in need of comic cards to craft your existing premium cards or re-roll them, again, I strongly encourage you to prioritize crafting and not get stuck on re-rolling, because re-rolling is an endless downward spiral of bad RNG. But if you are in need of it, right, and basically you are in need of it. If you don't have all 5 cards crafted, then you are in need of it. Then seriously consider crafting these. I'm not saying you should do it above all else. I'm not saying you should drop everything you're doing. You know, if you're very close to an important milestone for one of the other world bosses, like you're about to get an Odin's Blessing from the Conqueror, or you're about to get to 100 Conqueror level, and that's a personal goal you had, or you're about to get 800, 1200, or 1600 CCF to nail a new tier 3. Sure, do those things first. I don't want to tell you how to play, but again, this is a very viable thing to do now. There's no shame, there's no wrong, there's no bad move. This is not an off-meta thing anymore to play these world bosses. And you don't even have to play a high level to get a lot of Phoenix Feathers and Emcron crystals. But there's more. Wait, there's more, Flex Tape. So let's talk about some other avenues where you can rapidly farm tons of Emcron crystals and Phoenix Feathers, because that is what you need to start crafting tons and tons of cards. I'm talking like triple digits. So the epic quests. You have multiple epic quests here, starting in Rise of the X-Men, moving over into X-Force, where you can farm, well, there's just 2, where you can farm Phoenix Feathers, both from the deluxe packs and also from the regular missions. So make sure you don't have them hidden in your content board, so you can hit up Veiled Secret, Mutual Enemy, The Big Twin, Beginning of Chaos. Those 4 missions in the top right-hand corner are going to drop Phoenix Feathers and Emcron crystals. So make sure you're hitting those up every single day. Beginning of Chaos is the deluxe pack for Psylocke, and Mutual Enemy is the deluxe pack for Magneto. If you don't have those deluxe packs, I'm not saying you should dump 6,600 crystals right now to get them, but I'm also saying it's a better idea than ever. Moonstone is still, you know, head and shoulders above Magneto and Psylocke. That's absolutely true. But they give you an infinite farm of Emcron crystals and Phoenix Feathers. So if I can show you right now how much you get, so you guys can get an idea for it. There you go, 70 feathers and 20 Emcron crystals every single day. It's not enough to do a pull on its own, but it most certainly adds up. It most certainly does add up, and I believe it's exactly the same for Beginning of the Chaos. It's about 70 feathers and about 20 Emcron crystals. So you're talking, okay, just under 20. So you're talking about 40 Emcron crystals and 140 feathers a day. That's pretty much enough to do 110 craft every single day. So that's pretty huge. What else can you do to get more feathers and Emcron crystals? Well, begrudgingly, you might not want to hear this one, but Danger Room Extreme. Yeah, not only can you get bios, which are really important, but you can get, no, not that one. Not that one. Anyways, you get like a daily reward where you can get feathers, Mcron crystals, Mcron shards, or gold. And then also when you level up your proficiency, and there's 999, as you can see, Alex Kitu, shout out to him, by the way. There are 999 levels of proficiency, so you can get sort of like the dispatch boxes, but only for X-Men materials. You can get 999 of these boxes, and they can drop these materials. They can drop a low amount, like 50 feathers or 100 feathers, but they can actually crit for 1,000. So you can get 1,000 feathers from your proficiency. And especially if you've ignored Danger Room for a long time, you're going to get a lot of proficiency boxes, kind of like the dispatch boxes. So don't sleep on that. Speaking of dispatch, another thing you can do is remember to collect your dispatches that give you feathers. That's not going to give me feathers because it's too soon, but you get what I'm saying. The dispatches for Mcron crystals and Mcron shards and Phoenix feathers. You want to collect those, right? You can also check the item shop. I don't believe you can get Mcron crystals and Phoenix feathers for, I mean, they might only be sold for crystals. I don't know if they're sold for gold or dimension coins, rift tokens. But yeah, that's a decent thing you can do. Actually, you know what? Can you buy them from the dimension shop? You can't. You can only buy, you can buy dimension debris and gear up kits if you need it, and Mcron shards, but you can't buy Phoenix feathers. However, there's more. Uniform collections. This might not be a viable option for all of you, but if it is a viable option for you, you should definitely take a look, because there are a lot of collections that are going to give you Mcron crystals or Mcron shards or Phoenix feathers when you complete the collection. That's 300, so that's 1.5 pulls. If you never collected it, you can now collect it and schwang and bang. So the uniform collection is another one. Last but not least, this one is brought to you by Reddit. Shout out to whoever posted it on Reddit. Timeline battle. Even if you're losing in timeline battle, you're collecting the regular glory tokens. You can see I have 49,775 regular glory tokens. So when I go to the shop, I'm greeted with this page. Oh, I can go to the glory chest, and the glory chest can drop 3 to 6 star cards, but it can also drop 3 to 6 star Uru. I don't want the Uru, so what do you do instead? You close this window, you scroll over, and you buy the Phoenix feathers for the exact same price, 7,500 tokens. You can convert that into 200 Phoenix feathers, which is exactly the amount you get for 110 pull. This is huge. Start doing PvP again if you've been ignoring it, and start converting those tokens into Phoenix feathers, because it's a big win. You're basically opening this chest, but it's only 3 to 6 star cards, and there's no Uru. So let's run it back. Let's use those 7,500 that I just got. Let's run this back here, and let's see what we get. 3 to 6 star cards, right? Boom. Okay, that's probably the worst. That's probably the worst pull I've ever seen, but still, that's really good. That's almost 2 5-star cards, which is 1/3 of a 6-star card. Let's just do a couple more relay crafts here so you guys can see how insane this is. Okay, boom, there you go. That's 6 5-star cards. That's a 6-star card. I just crafted a mythic card. Yep. Oh, I can't do any more? What's going on? Oh, my inventory is full. So this is going to be the only culprit that you really have to deal with. And of course, the reason for that being I have too many cards. So what I'm going to have to do with that is I'm going to have to actually start re-rolling some cards. I have so many mythics now because I've just been sort of dabbling in this crafting system. I haven't even been doing it in an aggressive way. As you can see, just casually made 3 mythic cards on the video. But as you can see, I still have a pretty healthy amount of Mcron crystals and Phoenix feathers. I haven't been doing this aggressively, but I've been able to craft so many mythic cards. I have over 65 spare mythic cards. Just off the rip. I seriously cannot exaggerate how good this system is for everyone in the game. So do yourself a favor, do me a favor, do your enemies a disfavor. Craft your cards, craft mythic cards, use them to craft your existing cards and re-roll them, and upgrade your gameplay. It is going to skyrocket your progression in this game to new heights, and you're just going to be dunking on content, and it feels so good. And it just unlocks the ability to play with so many more characters instead of having to stick to the absolute meta. You can start to use characters that you like because they're all swanging and banging and hitting for crazy DPS numbers because you upgraded your cards and you upgraded basically your account buffs. So yeah, Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of this sort of mini guide to farming feathers and Emcron crystals for the crafting, and get to crafting. In a couple of months, I don't want to hear anybody complaining. It sounds like a threat, but it's not. Basically, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, everybody listens to the advice that I'm giving, that other content creators are giving, and in a couple of months, that's no longer an issue, because it's literally been an issue for like 5 years since they or 4 years since they introduced the comic cards in the form that they're in now. People have been complaining, rightfully so, that it was impossible to farm comic cards, and it took forever. And it's slowly gotten to the point where it was almost okay, and then they just hit us with this insane crafting that just takes it from okay to this is super easy, and I just jumped like 100 power levels. It's like going from Goku to Ultra Instinct Goku overnight. You're just skipping all the Super Saiyans and you're going right to UI. So yeah. Whoo! Hit me up in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. You card crafting genius. Take care.